guys, so welcome back, and I just wanted to quickly state that this was actually supposed to be a talk-through video, but the audio didn't record, so I'm making a voiceover, so please don't mind my mouth moving. First, starting off, I'm going to be using my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion and putting that all over my eyelids, up to my brow bone. Next, going in with my Lorac Pro Matte palette in the shade Bear and putting that all over my eyelids, up to my brow bone. Next, going in with my Too Faced Natural Matte palette in the shade Honey Butter and just putting that in my crease. Then going in with Cashmere Bunny and deepening up the crease a little bit. Next, my Naked 2 palette and going in with Tease and just putting that all over my eyelids, but focusing it more on the outer third. Next, going in back with my Lorac Pro Matte palette and taking Corduroy and deepening up that lid. I decided it was too much in the inner corner, so I took some off my finger. Pro makeup artist. Going back in and taking the shade Chocolate and just creating kind of a wing with my eyeshadow. I'm not trying to keep it too clean because I am going to clean it up later with concealer, and just taking that on a pencil brush. I'm going to be blending that out back with the shade Honey Butter from the Too Faced Natural Matte palette that we used earlier, and just buffing those lines out on the top. Going in with Jet Black from the Lorac Pro Matte palette and taking it on a angled brush and just lining my eyelash line. I'm starting out with eyeshadow to just kind of trace a line of where I'm going to put my eyeliner afterwards. Then I'm going to take my Inglot Black Gel Liner, I believe it's 77, and taking it on that same angled brush and going over the eyeshadow. Just creating a thin, straight line. Next, taking a pencil brush and buffing that out. I actually decided to take a little bit of that black eyeshadow and buff it out a little bit more, just to create a smoky effect so there's no harsh lines. Then I'm going to be mixing the shade Half Baked and Chopper and putting that on my ring finger just to put some in my crease and give it a little pop. And by crease, I mean inner corner. Don't know why I said crease. Next, taking my eyelashes from Huda Beauty in Scarlet, number 8, and letting them get a little tacky before I put them on, and placing them on with tweezers. I'm adding more of that Honey Butter shade just to really define that crease and add a little bit of warmth. Usually when I do a look, I don't really know exactly what I'm going to do to begin with, so I always end up tweaking it throughout. Next, taking a very small pencil brush and just smoking out that eyeliner a little bit more because the band of the lashes kind of covered it. And going over again with eyeliner. Note to self, do your eyeliner after you do your fake eyelashes. And I'm actually taking a little bit more of that brown shade I used, Chocolate, and just deepening up that outer corner with a small crease brush. Making sure to really blend that so there's no harsh lines. And next, taking my Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer. Pretty sure I have this shade Light, and just putting that all over my under eyes. And also, I didn't show it, but I'm adding a little bit of erase paste by Benefit and just putting that in that inner area of my under eyes and blending it out with a beauty blender. Next, going onto the face, I'm taking my Maybelline Baby Skin Pore Eraser and just placing it on my ring finger and spreading it out. Next, I'm taking my NARS Velvet Pro Matte. I have the shade Alaska and just placing it on my fingers and rubbing it in. I wanted to blend it out a little bit more, so I just put it back in my beauty blender and patted it in. Next, taking the leftover concealer on that brush and really sharpening up that eyeshadow to create a winged effect. And also making sure the eyeshadow on the end blends out nice. Going back in with that beauty blender and just blending that out, and actually really blending it with a sponge. I don't know what those are called, triangle sponges, called a triangle sponge, and just making sure that line is really neat and precise. Going in with my Anastasia Cream Contour Kit, and I'm using the shade Fair. Going in with that middle brown shade and contouring. I'm wiping off the excess, and then I'm going in with the shade all the way to the right, just a light concealer shade, and using that to highlight. Just going back in with that beauty blender and blending it out all over. Starting with the lighter areas and then going into the darker areas. Next, I'm actually going in with that middle shade on the top. It's shimmery, even though you can't tell on camera, but just dipping that in with my beauty blender and using that to highlight a little bit. Just putting that on the high points of my face to get a little bit of shimmer. Next, going into my Laura Mercier translucent powder in that triangle sponge again, and just placing that in all the places that I highlighted and baking, really putting that powder on there in excess. The sponge is slightly damp. Next, doing my eyebrows with my Anastasia Brow Definer in medium brown and just tracing the outsides. Then I'm just brushing it out with the spoolie brush on the other end, all while my powder bakes. Then going in with my Stila Stay All Day brow color, putting that in and then topping it off with my Maybelline Great Lash Clear Mascara. Going back in with that concealer and a concealer brush and just outlining my brows to give it a more cleaned up effect. And just blending that out with the same concealer brush. And just blending that out with my fingers. Next, going in with my Laura Mercier bronzer in 03 and a blush brush from Real Techniques, and just bronzing up my cheeks, putting it a little bit higher than where I put the contour, around my temples, jawline, and on my neck so it looks even. Next, taking my ColourPop blush in between the sheets and just putting that on the apples of my cheeks and blending it out. And now dusting off that excess powder that I've let sit into my skin for about 5 minutes. Next, going back into my Lorac Pro Matte palette and taking that dark chocolate shade and lining my lower lash line with it in a very small definer brush. I'm going to blend that out with a pencil brush and the shade Honey Butter that we used earlier from the Too Faced Natural Matte palette. And then actually adding a little bit more of that inner corner highlight, which we used Chopper and Half Baked because I felt like it kind of disappeared. Then lining my waterline with the Bare Minerals brown eyeliner, which is in the shade Lasting Brown. Next for my highlight, I'm taking my Anastasia Glow Kit and using the shade Bronzed and Tourmaline and putting that in all the high points of my face with a fan brush. And also I was saying here that you want to make sure you really blend that out so you don't get a harsh line of highlight. And next I'm using my Arbonne lip liner in the shade Peach, which I'll put a link in the bio on how you can order that through yours truly, and lining my lips with it. Next, going in with my Too Faced Melted Liquefied Longwear Lipstick in Melted Nude. Putting that all over. Taking my NYX Intense Butter Gloss in Cookie Butter and putting them in the center to make them look fuller. And that's all. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.